AOC is now ratcheting up the rhetoric to say that Republicans doing politics is tantamount to terrorism.
Has there ever been a president, Republican or Democrat, that has been subject to this level of criminal charges, indictments, and investigations? This is not about party. This is not about politics. This is about corruption and criminality. We're talking about an individual who ordered essentially a terrorist attack on the Capitol of the United States in order to retain power. That is not about being a Republican. It is not about being a Democrat. It's about being an unethical and individual who is subject and prone to criminality. And unfortunately, this is the state that we're in. And I actually think that the fact that it's happening in so many places and so many jurisdictions cuts in the face of that. This is not just New York. This is Georgia. This is federal courts as well.
So if AOC is going to accuse Trump of ordering a terror attack, you would think, that's a pretty significant charge. You would think that she would provide any evidence for that. She might quote him. She might cite a date or an action, but she, of course, does not do that. She says it all surrounds January 6th. But she can't quite tell you when exactly Trump ordered the terror attack because, of course, he did not. He said many times, be peaceful. If you demonstrate, make sure that you're very peaceful. Then when things started to get a little rowdy, he said, go home, don't do this. But in the left's mind, none of that matters. It was a terror attack that threatens our democracy. It's an existential threat. Our whole country might die. Do you remember net neutrality? Do you remember the repeal? I forget, it was 2017. There was this provision of federal communications law that was slightly changed under the Trump administration, and they called it the repeal of net neutrality, which just changed the way that internet service providers were regulated to some degree. And we were told at that time that would destroy the internet. We were told that you would now have to pay for every tweet that you posted. We were told that people would die by prominent left-wing public figures. We were told people would die because of net neutrality repeal. And you all survived. I'm happy to say that I survived. It's very difficult for the left to maintain this degree of histrionics. Very, very difficult, especially for 8 years now or something like that. So when AOC comes out and says he ordered a terror attack, nobody believes it. The host of the liberal program doesn't believe it. Nobody seriously thinks of it as a terror attack. Fewer people even think of January 6th as an insurrection or a riot. And this is not just my own gut feeling here. This is borne out in surveys on the matter. When you surveyed people in 2021, was January 6th terrible, awful, deadly, a terror attack, a coup d'etat, an insurrection? A significant portion, especially of Democrats, said yes. That same survey last year, so 2 years afterward, every group, including the Democrats, fewer people were likely to believe the January 6th narrative. People buy it less and less. Right now, go to Genucel.com/Knowles, letter Y, letter T. Whether you have 3 minutes in the morning or 30 minutes with Genucel, your face will be wrinkle-free when you walk out the door. Not sure which product is for you? A great place to start is with their Gen 90, the new instant wrinkle treatment from Genucel. Gen 90 instantly reduces wrinkles anywhere you use it, around the eyes, laugh lines, even the chin. Starts working in seconds. You will never worry about your skin or your confidence again. Genucel's technology is luxurious, nourishing, and silky smooth. There is a reason why Genucel has 400 times the customer loyalty of other skincare brands. You know, I love the founder of this company, a Coptic Christian from Egypt who left for the American dream. And I was talking to him once. I said, you offer these really steep discounts on your first order. So what is it? Do you just mark the product up a lot? And he said, no. He said, I'm willing to lose money on the first order because I know that the product is so good that people are going to stick around for a very long time. And they do. Right now, both Gen 90 and XV are included in their best-selling package. On sale now. Order at Genucel.com/Knowles, letter Y, letter T. Get a free spa box with 2 luxury skincare essentials and free shipping. Hurry before they sell out. Genucel.com/Knowles, letter Y, letter T. When AOC says, can you think of a president who's been charged with so many crimes? No, but that's also undercutting her argument. Again, not just my gut feeling. This is virtually every survey on the subject. Most people think, and think correctly, that the prosecutions of Trump are just politically motivated. The fact that he's being threatened with 700 years in prison, the Democrats think that's going to convince the American people that this guy's really bad. If it were just 600 years in prison, we might say 50-50 that he's guilty. But 700 years, oh, he must be guilty. No, it's the opposite. The fact that he's being prosecuted in 4 different places for totally unrelated quote-unquote crimes and having a civil judgment levied against him and now being accused of a terror attack, and every day they insinuate that he's super-duper mega Hitler 3.0, it has the effect of undermining their argument, especially when they come out and they say, yeah, also, the other Republicans can't come on our TV networks too. Also, Ronna McDaniel, a perfectly amiable, relatively establishment Republican figure, she can't speak on these matters either. Oh, so your problem is just that sometimes the Republicans have won. Trump is being prosecuted for winning in 2016, and other conservatives around the country are being investigated and in some cases prosecuted for ever succeeding at anything in public life. Okay. Who's the terrorist here? Who are the real terrorists? Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is running as a third-party candidate. He has just picked his vice president. And I'm not going to say I told you so. I am going to say I told you so, because I did. A lot of conservatives were very afraid when Bobby Kennedy came out and said he was running for president. They said, oh, actually, he might pull more votes from Trump than from Biden. The Democrats are all unified. But the Republican Party is divided up because there's this nasty primary here. And Bobby Kennedy was right on COVID and vaccines, and Trump actually promoted the vaccines, and he defended Dr. Fauci and blah, 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 whatever. I said, first of all, people's memories are very, very short. If COVID were the big issue in 2024, Ron DeSantis probably would be the nominee, but it's not, and he ain't. Second of all, RFK hates vaccines, so he agrees with a lot of conservatives on that front. But he's a huge lib on every other issue. So he's going to pull from Biden much more than from Trump. People said I was crazy. Well, he's just picked his vice presidential running mate. And he has picked a woman, according to the New York Times. I don't think it's official yet, but it's being reported everywhere. The woman who is leading the pack is Nicole Shanahan. She is the ex-wife of Google's co-founder, Sergey Brin. Okay, so already, he's picking a Google, someone very intimately involved in Google, okay. Nicole Shanahan has a history of donating to the Democratic Party. She isn't even a long time ago former Democrat who had an awakening. She donated to Biden in 2020. Then this year, she's given to RFK's campaign. But she donated to Bobby Kennedy when he was running as a Democrat. She's a major criminal justice reform advocate. So, more lunatics eating severed legs on the streets. That's pretty much what criminal justice reform is. I don't mean any of this to knock his potential VP candidate or to knock Bobby Kennedy. I'm actually thrilled by all of this. I'm thrilled that RFK Jr. is in the race. I am thrilled that he's picking this woman to be his VP, a solid liberal Democrat. RFK, he's a liberal Dem. I like him, actually, in that he's a basically honest and somewhat more reasonable liberal Democrat, but he's a big liberal Dem, okay? And the Kennedy ticket, the Kennedy name being royalty in the Democratic Party, and the Kennedy ticket, especially with this woman, that's pulling votes from Biden. That's not pulling votes from Trump. And it could even potentially be decisive in 2024. We got some polls on that, but we are out of time. That was a very good clip. It was articulate, pithy. The host was very, very handsome, and you should ring the bell and subscribe so that you get so many more of those clips and full shows and interviews and games and all the rest of it. See you next time.